Hi there, Erin Lee here of heavenlymessenger.com. Welcome to this week's Connection with Intention. I'm so incredibly grateful that you're here with me this evening. It's been a while, and it wasn't until I started creating the stream for this evening that I realized that we haven't connected this way since the middle of August. So we are well overdue for a connection with intention. As always, I am dressed. It just doesn't look like it. I am wringing the last bits of summer out when I can wear dresses. So expect that as long as the weather is above 15 degrees, that I'll be showing up in a dress that probably won't have shoulders on it. So, oh, and before I forget, let me just throw that up. So hellos are welcome. Please hold on to your questions for just a moment. I can hardly wait to connect with you. So lots has been going on. I did earlier today my Heavenly Messenger radio show on News for the Soul. And we had to start with a couple of minutes of slow breath and breathing because my energy has just been so off and so all over the place the last couple of weeks. It's part of the reason that we haven't been connecting because I just haven't been feeling that great. And I realized as I was preparing for my show earlier that everything felt really raw and really uncomfortable. My heart felt really heavy and sad. And I know that there are lots of things that are going on, lots of things happening for me personally, and also for many of us as well, but also in the bigger world around us. There's a lot that's happening. We are also coming out of the energy of the full moon, which was also an eclipse, which really ramps up the energy as well. So, with any full moon or new moon, a couple of days on either side, so we're a couple of days after, there tends to be a lot of really intense energy, just regardless. That just is part of what happens with the energy of the moon because it is so powerful and it is so potent and it opens everything up. And of course, then that's amplified by the energy of the eclipse that we had that same evening as well. So a lot is coming up from out of the shadow that is asking to be addressed. And as I was finishing up my show on News for the Soul today, I realized that it felt like it was important to share one of the projects that I had started a couple of years ago that lost a bit of momentum, but it feels like it's coming back now. So if you've been around for a couple of years, you may be aware that at one point I had created a new moon ritual soak. I called it My Ritual Soak, and it was the new moon ritual soak. And with it, there were 3 separate stages. There was a releasing stage, a forgiving stage, and a creating stage, because the new moon is all about fresh starts, new beginnings, and it's all about manifestation and creation. And so these were the processes, the steps that were leading up to being able to manifest and being able to create. And you know me, I absolutely love working with the energy of the moon because it is so big and it's so powerful, and it's incredible, especially when you're able to work in the feminine energy of it. And so I decided that it was important to have a full moon ceremony as well. So the full moon is all about releasing. And if you think about what the full moon does, it illuminates what's usually in darkness and it helps us to see what's ready to be released. The full moon is all about releasing, letting go, and preparing for a new beginning. And so the themes that I saw moving through with the full moon were acknowledging. So acknowledging what's been happening over the last lunar cycle. So the better part of the last month. What have you gone through? What have you experienced? What have you learned? What have you done well? What would you maybe choose to do differently or choose to do better the next time? This is all about taking stock of what you've done, where you've been, and what you've experienced. And the next phase is letting go. So once we realize what wasn't working, what we didn't want, we didn't need, and we acknowledged our part in all of it, we were then in a place where we could start letting go. And then moving into the phase of celebration. So I want to celebrate all of the things that I've experienced, even if they were things that no longer served me. They served a purpose up until that point. They brought us to this point. They helped to support us, and as such, helped to shape us into the person that we are now and the person that we are becoming. And I know for myself, slowing down long enough to take time to celebrate can be a really significant challenge, because it feels like as soon as you finish one thing, it's on to the next thing. And I remember I received this truly beautiful email from a friend of mine, Margaret. It was after I had done, oh yes, I'd participated in the More Than Existing Expo. And it was such an amazing and incredible experience. And one of her messages was, Erin, I really hope that you took some time to celebrate what you have done. And it really caught me off guard for a second, because it hadn't even occurred to me that I should slow down enough to celebrate. And here I am. That's one of the things that I encourage other people to do, is to slow down and take time to celebrate this thing that you've done, the distance that you've come, all that you've accomplished, all that you've overcome. And here I wasn't doing that in my own life. So it feels like it's really powerful and important to take a couple of breaths in this time, in this moment, over the next several days, to acknowledge everything that you've been through, everything that you've done, the things that are working, the things that are not, the things that you're ready to let go of, because all of that helps and supports us in preparing to move on and to move forward. And it allows us to honor and to reflect upon all of those things, to um, gain the wisdom and the insight that they were meant to provide, and to slow down and to acknowledge and to celebrate that. So over the next couple of days, I hope that you'll join me in doing that. And let me know in the chats, in the comments, if it would be helpful for you if I posted a couple of little things over the next week as just gentle reminders and little encouragement, and check in to see if you've been doing it. And I realize that as I suggest that, it's probably actually more for accountability for myself. So my friends, we're all in this together. Awesome. Nikki, hello. It's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And Tanya, hello. It's so good to see you too. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. And Nikki says, sending healing love, pardon me, love and healing vibes, lots of positive thoughts. Thank you. I'm sending them all back to you. Tanya saying, hey, noticing that the Facebook link isn't linking the live stream, but we are here. Oh, that is really good to know. Thank you. I'm not sure how to fix that at this point. Catherine, I noticed that you're joining us from Facebook. Oh, and Pamela and Brenda, hello to both of you. I see that you're on Facebook too. So thank you for mentioning it, Tanya. I'll have to take a look into that for next week. And Becky, welcome. It's great to see you. Yes, and thank you for the reminder, is what Becky's saying. Absolutely. It is my pleasure. So I want to make sure, oh, and hello to Kathy too. So I want to make sure that we get to the Choose Your Adventure crystal readings, and then we get to as many question readings as we can this evening. So I'll throw up our crystals that we can choose from tonight. Let me see. If you decided to join the email newsletter, you would have already received the advanced copy of the crystals that we were using for this evening. It's a little something that I'm trying so that everybody has the links, because obviously Facebook is problematic, and just gives you a little heads up for what's coming. All right. So what I'll ask you to do is think about a question that you may have. Don't share it in the comments, because it's not that kind of reading just yet. This is just for you. So think about a question or questions that you may want to ask. And as you think about them, invite in your helpers. So I like to always connect with God, source, universe, angels, ascended masters, and other beings of light. So whoever, whatever works for you, breathe and invite them in, connect with their energy, and ask your question. And when you ask your question, ask which crystal will represent for you this evening the answer that you need to hear. So on the left, we have obsidian, the middle is rose quartz, and the other end, the right end, is clear quartz. So I'm just going to pull a crystal for each of those. We have obsidian, we have rose quartz, and we have clear quartz. I'll leave those up for just a moment longer. One thing that I notice is usually when we do the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading, I usually pull from the Archangel Oracle card deck if I'm only going to pull from one deck. But it was the mermaids and dolphins who were coming out to play this evening. And play is definitely the operative word when we're connecting with the energy of the mermaids and dolphins. They are incredibly playful. They're fabulous when it comes to manifestation, for moving forward, and for energy of that nature. So I'm excited to see what we have coming up. If you chose the obsidian card, I love this. If you chose the obsidian card, the message for you this evening is helpful person. Someone wants to help you. Think of whom that might be and initiate contact. And before we get to the questions this evening, I'm going to share a fun little story. But helpful person is coming to the forefront for you if you chose obsidian for your card. So this usually means that you have been working really hard and maybe struggling, maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed, or maybe you're in a good place, but you could just benefit from help and support from someone else. This is a lesson that I am still very much learning, but I remember at the very beginning of the spiritual work that I started doing, probably the better part of 20, 25 years ago, and it had to do with receiving. And as somebody who has always been a giver, it felt really weird to receive. And then it was phrased to me that when you allow yourself to receive gracefully and graciously, you give the gift of giving to someone else. And the same is true when it comes to helping. When you allow yourself to be helped, to receive help and support from somebody else, and especially if you do it gracefully and graciously, then you give the gift of helping to somebody else. And that always feels good. It feels good to be able to help when you are able to help from the goodness of your heart and not from feeling of obligation. So in the situation that you've asked about, ask where you could either ask for help, or maybe help is already being offered to you, and allow yourself to accept. So if you chose rose quartz, the card that we have for you today is a new dawn. The worst is now behind you, and positive new experiences are on the horizon. Thank goodness. I don't know about you, but I am definitely excited to see this card. When this card comes up, it's basically what it says. Things are shifting, they're changing, and the worst is now behind you. And one of the things that can happen is if you are in a place where you've been experiencing challenge for a prolonged period of time, it can be really difficult to trust and to have faith that things are what they seem when they aren't seeming as difficult and challenging. And the adage of, waiting for the other shoe to drop, and being in that fearful place can actually prolong the challenge that you're in. And it can also delay the new dawn, the new beginning that is coming. So if it seems like things are starting to shift and are starting to get easier, trust that. Breathe with that. And if things still feel like they're challenging, take a step back and breathe. And I'm going to throw some of the helpful person energy into that as well. Are there things that you can do that you can pass off to somebody else? Are there places where you can breathe a little bit more? Are there things that maybe are on your plate that don't necessarily need to be on your plate? Can you move them off to the side, even for just a little while, just to create a bit of peace that will help to usher in the new dawn, the new beginning? But the overall message is to trust and to have faith. And the last crystal, the last card was for clear quartz. And the message is time to move on. It's time to let go of old and worn out so that the new can come in. When this card comes up, it's usually because we've been holding on to something. We've been afraid of letting something go. We haven't completely processed things to allow ourselves to let this thing go. And this card is saying, hey, this circumstance, this situation has served its purpose. And now it's time to start looking at how to extricate yourself. How do we move forward from this point? What do we need to let go of? And it might not be the circumstances, the person, or the situation. It could be the expectations that we have of what it can be. It might be that we need to let go of some of the dream that we've been working towards in order to allow for something new to come in. And so this message is saying, we're holding on tightly to something that needs to start evolving. And how can we allow ourselves to let that evolve and let that move on and let that move forward? So again, I love the energy of acknowledgement that we were talking about earlier. If you've received this card, now is the time to start acknowledging and being truthful and honest with yourself about all of the circumstances involved in the situation, in the relationship that you're in, and asking, have I learned what I needed to learn from this? Have I received what I needed to receive from this? Is there more that I need to do in this in order to keep things moving forward and in a new way? But it is time to let go of some significant pieces and components of this to create room for new. And I kind of love how all of these cards actually kind of go together. So I'm really excited about that on the whole for all of us. All right. So let me just change our ticker up here. So you are welcome to ask your questions in the comments. Before you ask your questions, please be specific. I don't do card pulls to give people messages. Ask a specific question. So for example, what do I need to know about the relationship that I'm currently in? What do I need to know about moving my career forward? And other things. So it doesn't have to be super duper specific, but I need a little something, because otherwise I get too many messages, too much information, more than I can give to you in the short amount of time that we have together. Where did my chat go? Here we go. Okay. So hello to Kathy and to Pam and Susan. It's wonderful to see you. Tanya, I knew it was you. Don't worry. Hello to Sarah, and thank you for hello to everyone. And Pamela, I love that. Pamela said hello to Sarah back. Hi, Margaret. It's so good to see you. And Tina, hi. Hello. All right, let's take a look. What do we have? We've got some questions coming up. We've got Catherine. What is the best possible outcome for my and my family's life for our home? Should I stay and build new or move? Is there a better city for us to move to? Okay, so let's ask about family and where we are. I would be really interested to know if you chose the clear quartz crystal, because that's part of the energy that I have coming up. When I ask about your home, it does feel like there is a conclusion of sorts that's happening here. It feels like there is a shift in life, almost like an ending that's happening. I'm hearing bittersweet because there's a lot of love, but at the same time, I'm also feeling kind of propelled forward. Like there's something else that I'm needing to do. I feel like something has been put to rest, laid to rest. And now I'm wanting to focus on, where do I go next? What do I focus on next? Going back to, should I stay and build new or move? I have a lot of move energy that's coming up for you. When I ask, is there a better city for you to move to? Yes, it does feel like there is something else, but it's not coming up. It's not really clear for me right now. I do happen to know that Catherine is on Vancouver Island. And so I'm asking if it is somewhere on the island, and I kind of think that it is, but I'm not exactly certain where it is. I keep seeing March of 2026. So it feels like you're going to be staying where you are for at least the next couple of months. And then from there, it feels like we're starting to make a plan around moving. So, getting home to where it needs to be in order to be able to make that move. And I feel a move that's coming up kind of in June and July of 2026. So there is still some time, and I'm being pulled all over the place. I'm having a hard time settling on where it is that I want to be, and I'm kind of wanting to ask if travel is something that could be an option for you, for part or most of the rest of 2026, because it feels like I'm really longing for roots, but I'm also really wanting to explore and experience life a little bit as well. And I feel kind of like I'm at a buffet. I don't want to eat all of one thing in the buffet. I want to try and sample little bits and pieces of things. And there's a sense that this move can bring up a certain amount of freedom and flexibility for you as well. So there is a move that's coming. It's coming at some point in 2026, but it feels like there is some significant exploration that's coming up for you kind of throughout that time. Um, what messages are coming up for Catherine around um, home? I'm going to ask around home and see what we get. We get the helpful person card. So again, someone wants to help you. Think of whom that may be and initiate contact. And so where is this helpful person coming in? I feel like this is coming in from a healing perspective, because when I look at the type of travel that you're doing, it feels really like there's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of learning about self. There are new experiences that are coming up. It doesn't completely remind me of Eat, Pray, Love. But there is a little bit of that aspect and element that's there to it as well. I feel like in the new experiences I'm having, that I'm learning more about myself. I'm finding some healing and support for myself. And there's a fair amount of transformation that's coming up as well. And there's someone who is going to be helping and supporting you on that. So this could be somebody who is helping you with relocation. So if you own your home, this would be in selling your home and in finding something new. This could be somebody who's helping from a financial point of view, like helping to navigate and manage what it looks like from financial perspective to explore in that way. This can be from counseling, healing, whatever. So there are people who are going to be coming into this next part of your journey that are feeling really significant. Catherine, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. And I hope you come back and let us know how things are going with home and the changes that are happening there. Awesome. Drew, hello. Thanks for joining us. Drew's asking, what guidance and wisdom does my highest self have for me as I step into this new stage of my life? Okay, so hold on. We're going to pick one stage of life, and I have work popping up. So I'm going to make your question a specific question by asking, what does my highest self have to say for me as I step into this new stage of my work and career life? Um, get it done. Uh, there's a lot of there's a lot of let's get to this now. So there's a lot of almost urgency that's coming up with things that are needing to be done. So there's part of me that's kind of living up in my head, and I'm wanting to encourage you to slow down and make sure that there's space in your heart and in your solar plexus for the forward movement that's happening. Heart, because the direction that you're moving in is feeling very heart based, very heart led, but also solar plexus is coming up really strongly. And for me, solar plexus is really connected to our sense of self and identity. So There's a lot of transformation and transition that is happening. Transition is maybe not quite the right word. There are transitions that are happening, but this feels like this is more of an affirming of sense of self as opposed to I'm like recreating, reinventing myself. So I feel like there are bits and pieces of yourself that you're kind of pulling back into yourself, and it's like, yes, this is who I am. This is the piece that I let go. This is what I didn't allow myself. And so there's a lot of gathering that's coming in as you're moving into this next phase, this next stage. So as I said, there's a certain amount of urgency to like get things going, but making sure that we're very connected with heart and very connected with solar plexus. And then also a root and ground kind of popped up. Make sure that you're taking time to ground as well, because there's a lot that's coming. There's a lot that's happening. Things feel like they're moving. Um, I want to say rapidly, but it's not rapid. It's in a really fast flow. There we go. It's it's in a fast flow. That's how we're moving. And we're going again to the mermaids and dolphins. It's really interesting because usually I pull from the Archangel Oracle card deck more, but the mermaids and dolphins are literally coming out to play. So in addition to all of the messages we've been receiving, we aren't to be taking things overly seriously right now. We need to make sure that we're stepping back and taking time for ourselves. Of course, this is the card. The card that I have for you, my friend, is synchronicity. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. So, one of the things that I like to do when words like synchronicity come up is I like to make sure that we're all on the same page with what that means. Synchronicity are things that happen outside of ourselves that we don't have any control over, that speak to us, that have meaning for us, that help to guide us along our path. And often they're things that serve to give us confirmation that we're on the right path and we're heading in the right direction. So when synchronicity comes up as a card and as a message, it's saying that things are already happening outside of you that are validating for you the choices and the changes that you're making. And they're also helping to guide you along the path and along the way. As soon as synchronistic events start to slow down or possibly kind of even stop, it's usually because we've made a couple of missteps and we're needing to like get back on track. So when things are happening synchronistically, we know that we're in the right spot, we're in the right flow. And I should also say it could also mean that we're already there. Like if things slow down, it's because we're already there, we're doing it, we're living it, and then we'll just get little confirmations here and there. But things are happening as they need to. Continue with what you're doing. You're on the right track. And yeah, make sure you're taking time to breathe, to ground, to connect with heart and solar plexus too. I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. Margaret, hello. Thanks for joining us this evening. Margaret's asking, what do I need to know about my job search situation? I'm not connecting to opportunities that are a fit for me and my motivation has dropped. I hear that. Any guidance would be appreciated. Okay. So as soon as I ask about that, as soon as I heard that motivation was dropping, immediately what they showed me was that we are clearing the slate, we're clearing the deck. So take all of the affirmations and the manifestations that you've been working on and working towards and say, hey, like we need to revamp this. This isn't working, and start fresh. Get a new piece of paper, get a new book, whatever it is that you use to do like your energy work, your manifestation, your affirmation. It's time to clear it out and start fresh. What is it that you're looking for? How do you want to feel when you are going to work? How do you want to feel at the beginning of the day and the end of the day? How do you want to feel about the type of work that you're doing? For example, do you want to be helping people? And how do you want to be helping people? Do you want to be helping people one-on-one? Do you want to be helping people with something that's kind of on the back end? Focus on the types of tasks that you want to do, as well as how you want to feel about your day and doing them. Let's see what else we've got coming up here, because I want something that feels really practical for you as well, because it's time. Oh, okay. I know that I've shared this story with you all here, but it's been quite a while, and it goes back to when I first started doing readings. So we're going way back, professionally. We're going way back to 2006, and at that point, I was going to school. I had a regular job that was a really awesome job. It was one that had lots of opportunity and potential for growth for me to continue, and it was a path that I had invested a lot of time, money, energy, and resources into moving on. And it wasn't for me. And I ended up taking a bit of a leave from work because I was being guided to start doing readings. And so, in addition to taking time off work, I also took out a second mortgage on my home to be able to afford to take the time off. And I drove an hour and a half down to where my teacher had her office, and I would stay overnight one night a week. So I was there one day overnight and then there the next day. And she graciously allowed me to use her office so that I could start offering readings. And I did this for 6 weeks, and there was no money that came in. I didn't have any readings. I didn't have any interest in what I was doing. And so on the sixth week, that night that I was there, I sat down and I said, "Hey, angels, listen, I've been getting the messages that you've been giving me. I know that this is the path and the direction that I need to be working on, but I can't afford to do this if I don't have clients. I literally financially have to go back to my job and be unhappy and be in a state of anxiety all the time. It was really unhealthy for me. It was a great job, a great opportunity. It just wasn't for me. And I said, angels, I need tomorrow. You have to bring me a client in order for me to continue with this path. Otherwise, I just can't do it." And it wasn't an ultimatum. It was a truth about where I was and about the support that I needed. And I was really clear. And the next day, I won't spend too long telling you the story. The next day, this guy walks up the stairs because the office was up 30 very steep stairs downtown. He walks up the stairs and he says, "Hey, what's going on up here? I saw the sign downstairs and I wanted to see what was going on." And I said, "Oh, well, I'm here and I'm offering psychic and angel card readings." And he says, "Cool, I'll have a reading." And it turns out that he was visiting from Italy. I'm in Canada, and he was a musician, and he was staying and playing on the island that is across from where my parents live, an hour away from where we were. And he was just around, and his name was Raphael. Talk about synchronistic events. That was it right there. And that was my first paid reading, my paid client. And it came because I had the conversation with universe and I said, "Hey, I just can't do this anymore." So I would encourage you, Margaret, to have the same type of conversation, because we know that you can look and you can search, but it's not coming to you. So be really clear about what it is that you want to experience without tying it down to specifics, and have that conversation with God, source, universe, angels, whoever you like to work with, and say, "Hey, this is where I am and I need your help in order to be able to continue to do this. I want to be of service. I want to help and support others. I want to be an active member of my community. Please help me to find something that allows me to do that." All right, Margaret, we're going back to the Archangel Oracle card deck. Or no, the Mermaids and Dolphins. All right, we're gonna pick two cards. That one is really a jumper. And we're gonna get one more card for you because that's what I said we were gonna do. All right. So the angel oracle card that we have for you is the chakra clearing card. This is Archangel Metatron, and his message is, "Call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes." So I feel like this is not only confirmation for the clearing out message that we had at the very beginning with cleaning the slate, but this is also encouragement to be doing some work from an energetic perspective and an energetic point of view. So let go of all of the past ups and downs that you've gone through with looking for the right job, because when we have this conversation, we're going to shift into expecting that there is going to be the right job and it's going to present itself and it's just going to be boom, 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 easy peasy. Because the card that literally jumped out while I was shuffling for you is the Ready, Set, Go card. Now is the perfect moment to dive in and embrace your heart's desire. When this card comes up, it says that things are starting to move quickly. So ready, set, go, and go. The timing is right. It's coming up to being right. And now is it. There aren't any things that are standing in your way. And that has to do within your head too. So get your head to a point in a place where it feels like you are ready. Margaret, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, support, and lots of energetic manifestation energy your way too. Now is the time, my friend. Awesome. Kathy, it's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Kathy's wondering, will my grandson have a better year in school this year and be happy? Let's do a check-in. Okay, so when I connect with the energy of your grandson, he's first and foremost, he's just this beautiful ball of light. Energetically, he's just this beautiful soul that is so loving and giving and kind and energetic and enthusiastic. Um, and there are people out there that have a hard time seeing that because they don't feel and experience it themselves. So, how are we attracting similar positive, uplifting experiences for him? Because it feels like he's had a lot of experience, more than his fair share, with people who just don't get the light that he has. There we go. Okay, so it feels like we have about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I'm kind of going into the end of October, beginning of November, but I've got a really awesome friend who's coming along. And it feels like that's part of the challenge is from school point of view, I'm not feeling him having somebody who's on the same page, on the same wavelength. It kind of feels like it's me against everybody else. And that's where it feels kind of icky. So what I have is I do have somebody coming in. As I said, it's not right away. I feel like we're a month and a half-ish out. So that's taking me to the end of October, the beginning of November. But this person feels really awesome. And I'm flip-flopping because initially I had seen a boy, but now I'm seeing a girl, which makes me wonder if there are possibly two of them that are coming in throughout the school year. But I'm seeing them forming their own little group. Not that it's exclusive or anything, but like they just get each other. And because it's the two or three of them together, it's like whatever is coming at them from outside of them, it just washes off. It's just water off a duck's back. Is that is that the phrase? Because that's what I'm seeing is that he, even though he's really working hard not to allow it to take him down, it does. And this is just, it rolls off him because it just doesn't matter. It is going to get better. It's a little bit challenging the next little while, but it does get better. And it's because of the people who are coming into his life and the projects, the things that he's focusing on, because he's got a lot of focus. He's got a lot of energy that he's putting into things that are feeling important and significant. And that is where his happiness is. And in the relationships that he's creating. Also, I'm seeing the next year and a half, 2 years that friendships and social just open wide. It just opens wide, up wide for him. I don't know how I'm trying to say that, but it's it's opening up for him. All right, here's the card that we have. Make a wish. I love this. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. And this is such a cool card because when you look at it upright, you can see here we have the mermaid because there's her tail and she's reaching out and she's touching the unicorn's horn. But if we flip it upside down, we can see that actually it's a girl because there are her legs as compared to the mermaid's tail. And this is a horse. There isn't actually a horn there. And so what this says is that your wishes are basically the opposite side of the coin that you're already living, the coin that you're existing in and within. And so that wish is already there. And it's just a matter of seeing it being granted. So make the wish, because it is a really powerful time. And I see you making the wish for him on his behalf, but I also see him making that wish as well. So making the wish to connect with people who see him and understand him, who are like him, because that's really what we need. We need a community of people that see us and understand us and support us. And we do the same for them. Kathy, I'm so incredibly grateful you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you and to your grandson too. Susan, hello. Thanks for joining us. Susan's wondering if I will be okay financially it says new future, but I think that you probably meant near future. So I'm going to give us a timeline of 3 months. So that's taking us to, let's say we're the middle of September right now, September to October, October to November, November to December. So let's say between now and the middle of November is the timeline that we're looking at right now. Okay, so first of all, I have a bit of magic that's coming up for you. And this reminds me of a Disney movie of kind of cleaning and getting the cobwebs out. Like we're getting rid of the old stuff that just doesn't work. It doesn't matter. So it feels like there could be a certain amount of decluttering that needs to happen. This could be on a physical level in your home. This could be a decluttering in terms of like mental and emotional, or this could even be a decluttering in like the things that you need to do, the tasks that you take on. But there's a general feeling of needing to declutter because there's a lot of extra that isn't serving you and supporting you. But getting back to your question, yes, it feels like I'm getting something that looks like about a 5 or 6 week timeline. So we're the 9th here. This is really going to test my math. Let's call it 4 weeks to the 9th of October, and then a week or so after that. So let's say kind of the 19th to the 25th of October. It feels like things are really starting to shift. So there's stuff that's falling off, falling away. It's going to be okay. It feels like it might get a little bit rocky, but then boom, everything starts to build. There's more money that's coming in. Finances are feeling balanced and stable. There's also a hole that you are plugging. So it feels like there might be somewhere where money's just kind of falling out of your account or like falling out of your pocket. It feels like there's kind of a bit of a drain there. I want to encourage you that this feels like it's relatively small, but I want to encourage you to take a look and see if there are any unusual automatic payments that are coming out of your account or off of a credit card if you have one. Or some other like slow leak of money. That's part of what I'm seeing coming up. And it feels like you're fixing that. And as you fix that, things start to turn around. The other thing that I'm seeing, I know a lot of people don't carry cash in their wallets anymore, but if you do, make sure that it's neat and orderly in your wallet, because there's something that's coming up around respecting money as well. I realize that these are kind of woo-woo out there types of things, but I'm seeing this being part of how you're bringing money back into your life. It's an energetic shift that's happening, but on like an actual tangible level. Yeah, as we move into the later part of October, it feels like money and finances are turning around significantly. And within that 3-month timeline, things are shifting. And I feel like I'm comfortable with the money that's coming in. I am comfortable with being able to pay bills and go into and putting money into savings and whatever it is, whatever financial safety and stability looks like to you. It feels like that's something that's building. Again, on the kind of woo-woo side of things, I'll post this on Facebook. So make sure that you're following me on Facebook as well, because I see you're joining me from Facebook. Awesome. There's this exercise that Radley Valentine shared years ago. Like I'm talking probably more than 10 years ago. And it's actually worked really well for me in the past. He's in the States. And so he talked about taking 9 crisp $1 bills. I've done it with loonies because I'm in Canada. And so I get 9 shiny, really nice looking loonies. And the last time I shared this with somebody, they said, "Well, forget loonies. I'm going big." And she used crisp $5 bills. And what you do is you take 9 of them, you wrap them in a piece of saran wrap, and you tie a red ribbon around them. I also included some like money affirmations, things like I have enough to spare and share. It is easy for me to receive and to give. And so any money abundance affirmations, my physical and financial and material needs are provided for so that I can continue to help and support others. Those would be some of the things that I would use. So use what feels best and right for you. And I would just slide that in with the money wrapped up in the saran wrap, tied with the red ribbon. And then what you do is you put it in your freezer and you put it in the uppermost top left back corner, and you just let it sit there. and and then just expect that more money is going to be coming in. So this can come in a couple of different ways. It can come in literally in more money coming into your home, into your household. It can also be in savings. So again, like those drips or drains being stopped so that they aren't depleting your resources, or savings. Maybe you get a credit from hydro, or or I don't even know how else it could come in, but you're not spending as much as you have in the past in order to maintain yourself. So money coming in comes in a variety of different ways. And then once it feels like it's starting to slow down again, take that money out and go and use it. And I like to encourage people to spend it on things that support them. So for example, when it's on kind of every week or every couple of weeks, I like to go to sound bath, and it's $20, and it's something that supports my soul, and it helps and supports my heart as well. And so I would take money and I would go and spend it on sound bath or something else that supports you. It could be paying down debt, or it could be making sure that you have a really good meal. Whatever feels best and right to support yourself, use it for that. So it's not something where you lose anything, because it will always be in your freezer until you're ready. But I will remember to post that on my Facebook page. There's the little step-by-step instructions that Radley had initially posted years ago. Susan, let's choose a card for you. What message do we have for Susan about money and finances in the future? The card that we have here is the Blessed Change card. And this is one of my favorite cards from the deck. The message is: a major life change brings you great blessings. And if you look, I don't know if you guys can see this clearly or not, but in this card, we have an angel, and she's topsy-turvy, upside down, and life is feeling a little bit chaotic. It's outside of the norm. But if we flip it right here, we can see that even though she's turned upside down, she is smiling. So what this card says is that things may be feeling uncomfortable right now. Things may be feeling a little chaotic, like they're out of place, and maybe we aren't sure where we can find stability and support. But what this card is saying is that we're in the middle of change, and these changes are something that's positive, that are helping to bring good, and that are helping to bring support in the long run and the long term. And that's a big part of what's happening for you right now. There might be a little bit of up and down that's happening right now, but it's not forever, and it's already starting to shift, and it's continuing to improve. Susan, I'm so grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, support, and lots of abundance your way as well. Becky, hello. It's so good to connect with you. Becky's asking, what do I need? What do I need? And when will I know about a divine love relationship coming into my life? I love this. What do we need to know for Becky about divine love? So first of all, I'm hearing and seeing, shake it off. Like, Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. And it feels like there's something that we are shaking off, letting go of, moving on from, moving forward from, that is allowing us to invite in divine love. So this could be old relationship. This could be old thoughts and ideas about what relationship looks like. This could be healing from relationships in the past. This could be even just switching into positive mindset around what divine love relationship can look like, and that it's something that you're ready for and something that you deserve. So it feels like there's some combination of some of those things, maybe something else that's coming up that's ready to be released, to be shaken off. It doesn't serve, it doesn't support, and it's no longer part of your life and experience. And so, man, there are so many fresh slate messages that are coming up tonight. I'm seeing you like wiping the slate clean and saying, hey, this is where I am. What I have been manifesting towards or inviting in or creating what I've been working towards, I want to double check and make sure that that's still in alignment with where you are now and what it is that you're wanting to experience and to feel. Um, Part of, I don't think I've ever had this message before, so bear with me as I try and get this one out. A part of what I'm seeing is that there is something that you've been asking for because you've lacked that experience in previous relationship. And what they're showing me is that in the asking of it, you're actually inviting more of it in. And so it's kind of like we're wanting to let it go. So if I were to put a real world example, I would say, let's say that you've been manifesting or inviting in a romantic partnership that is respectful. And I think that that's something that all of us would want. And what they're kind of saying is the fact that you have to ask for it and that's not already a foregone conclusion indicates that there's some healing that needs to happen there. Why wouldn't that be the absolute minimum that you would receive? Why is that going into manifesting what you want when in actuality that's something that should be a bare minimum that you would expect in a partner with an appropriate healthy give and take? So you are manifesting a divine love, a divinely healthy, loving relationship. And so take a moment to step back. What does healthy look like? Well, healthy is automatically going to include respect. What else does healthy automatically include? What exactly does divine mean? What exactly does love mean? And then once you see those as being, that's the bare minimum, what else comes on top of that? And it feels like that shift is part of the healing process that you're going through. I have never received those messages before, and I'm so excited that they've come up for you this evening, Becky, because that feels like that's really significant. And if anybody else is, I was going to say is open to love, but forget that. If anybody else is working on creating a new experience in your life, whether it is love or work or relationship or family or money and finances, take that message and look to see what the bare minimum is. And is that what you've been asking for? Because maybe it's time to step it up. Hold on a second. I'm just going to roll off my ball, hopefully not literally, and I'm going to grab that card that jumped out for Becky. Hold on. So the card that literally jumped out for you that I almost fell on my face for, Becky, was the All Is Well card. Archangel Jeremiah, everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to with hidden blessings you will soon understand. So when this card comes up, it's basically saying you are exactly where you need to be. You are doing exactly what you need to do. Trust and have faith that everything is coming into balance and is coming into alignment. And I want to further that message by saying that synchronistic events feel like they're starting to pop up. Follow those events and allow yourself to be placed where you need to be placed in order to invite in the experiences that you're ready for. Becky, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, support, and divine, healthy, loving relationship energy your way. Pam, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me just get resettled on the ball. Um, Pam is asking, will my CT scan be clear? When I ask, uh, I want to say yes. They're showing me that there's a little bit of something. There is something that they're seeing that feels like it isn't completely right, but it's not something that we're worried about. So either it's something that we're expecting. So possibly you've had a CT scan in the past and we already know that this thing is here. Or it's something, again, that we're not really concerned about. It doesn't feel like it's abnormal. So something is coming up, but it's not something that we're concerned about, or it's something that we're expecting and we're not concerned about it. Yeah. And so I'm kind of hearing smooth sailing, clear sailing. And I want to take a big sigh. I want to take a big sigh of relief because it feels like there's a lot that's been caught up in your head about what's coming, what's happening, the potential of what can be, and and everything is going to be okay. There is something, but we're not concerned about it. We're going to go to the archangels, and I feel like we've got two questions that we're asking. We're going to ask about your CT, but then we're also going to ask what you need to know right now and what you need to know after your CT. So we're going to pull 3 cards for you. So what we need to know, so compassion. This had to do with the CT. This is Archangel Zadkiel, and his message is soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So being compassionate with yourself, giving yourself grace. It's really interesting because I feel like I almost picked on one of those things because they showed me that you were in your head about this. And part of compassion is, of course, you're going to be in your head about it. Of course, you're going to be thinking and worrying about it. It's to be expected because we're looking at something that is the unknown. So take a breath and give yourself some compassion and some grace. And if possible, focus on, I'm not going to worry until I know that I need to worry. And at this point, we don't know. So just keep breathing and give yourself that compassion. This was the card. What do we need to know coming into the CT scan? And we have spiritual understanding. This card is a message from Archangel Raziel. And it says, I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you to understand spiritual truths. So part of what that's kind of leading me to is encouragement to meditate or to pay attention to dreams or to allow yourself to journal or allow yourself to just be as you're moving into this time. It feels like you're, and I realize that this is easier said than done, but it feels like you're kind of pulling yourself back a bit and allowing yourself to be in the moment, to be present, and that in that moment and in that present, it allows concern to dwindle because in this moment, I know that I'm okay. And then this, I think, was after the CT. The card that we have here is Crystal Clear Intentions. And this is Archangel Michael. And his message is be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So when this card comes up, it's basically saying, what type of experience do you want right now? What do you want your focus to be? Where do you want Where do you want your experiences to be coming from? How do you want to feel? And focusing on those things and being really crystal clear. Tonight, I realize I've been talking a lot about experiences because I think that that's a big part of what life is overall. We have the opportunity to choose the experience of being within supportive community, or we have the opportunity to choose the experience of um, help, or lots of different things. We have the opportunity to choose the experience of a romantic love and partnership, again, that is supportive. So what experience is your soul wanting to experience while it's here? And invite that in. Pam, I'm incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. And in the comments below, if you're still here watching, please let me know if you'd be open to me sending you some Reiki later this evening. I would love to send some Reiki just to offer a little bit of help and support in the worry until you get your CT results. I'm so incredibly grateful you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and support your way. Nikki, hello. Thanks for joining us. Nikki's wondering, what can you tell me about the relationship I'm in? Um, okay, so this is partnership, romantic relationship that we're connecting with. Um, and I just heard I'm moving on up, I'm moving on out, which is interesting because I don't see that at all. I feel like that's actually something that's kind of teasing, because because I feel like there's a bit of silliness that's coming up for you behind that as well. So I'm wanting to encourage some teasing and some playfulness, and just kind of almost like a good-natured pushing of buttons. Your relationship, when I tap into it, feels like it's really stable, strong, and secure. Um, and on the one hand, like I love that. That feels amazing. But there's something that's just, it's very mischievous, and it's kind of poking me, and it's saying, but wouldn't it be nice if we kind of shook things up a little bit? And what I'm hearing, what I'm hearing from that is no, it wouldn't. But that's what I'm seeing you doing. So I'm wanting to encourage some play. And part of that includes taking time to make sure that the two of you are playing with each other and being playful. So whether that's the two of you kind of playing with each other, sorry, that's unintentionally rude and sexual. I don't mean it that way. I mean, do enjoy yourself sexually, but that's not that's not the message I'm trying to put across. This is feeling mischievous and playful and doing things that you both really enjoy, and making sure that you're taking time to connect with each other. They're showing me on days off, making sure that you're doing things where the two of you are spending really quality time together. Laughter feels like it's important. And I keep seeing games. You guys need to be playing games together, which also tells me that there might be a bit of need to lighten things up a little bit in relationship as well. So this could indicate that there are some stressful things that are happening in your relationship and partnership. And part of moving through it is not always focusing on it, but allowing the two of you to be playful and to connect with that playful energy within your partnership and relationship, because that helps you to move forward together in a way that feels healthy and positive for both of you. And somebody just popped in, um, somebody just popped in that you want to make sure that you're still addressing the challenging stuff, and it feels like you do, but at the same time, we don't have to focus on it all the time. We need to make sure that there's also time and space for the two of you to connect and to be playful and to have fun with each other. We're going to go to the Archangel Oracle card deck, and we're just going to ask, what does Nikki need to know about the relationship that she's currently in? And the message that we have here is the Clear Your Space card. This is Archangel Jophiel, and she says, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use feng shui. So if there's anything that's feeling kind of old and stagnant that you guys have been holding on to, it might be time to do a bit of clearing and purging. But this feels like this is more of an energetic thing. So make sure that you're not holding on to old arguments or disagreements, or old fears that may have come up in your relationship. If there's something that you guys struggled with, but you've dealt with it and you've moved past it, don't hold on to that thing. Let that thing go. That thing has served its purpose. And unless it's relevant to this moment, to this time, it's time for it to move on and to be let go. So, Nikki, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. And I hope you pop back and let us know how you guys are doing. Brenda, hello. Thanks so much for joining us. Brenda's asking, is my daughter and her family still going to be able to visit my mom, her Nana, next week? Okay, so will they still be able to visit? I'm hearing a yes. I feel like there's a lot of expectation that that is the way that it will be. I don't know if this is coming from Nana or if this is coming from somewhere else, but there's kind of no question in my mind that they'll be able to visit. Um, and part of what I'm hearing is that where there's a will, there's a way. So if there's any sort of roadblock or up and down that looks like it's going to prevent them from being able to visit, I'm seeing this strength of will that says, nope, we're going to do it. And that's just the way that it is. I can't tell exactly what this block or this resistance may be. But it feels like we're just kind of plowing through it. If this way doesn't work, then there's going to be another way, because come hell or high water, we're going to be there. There is some really insistent energy that's coming up around this visit. And I don't know that this is completely with people who are here. I feel like there's somebody on the other side who's popping in and is like, again, like, come hell or high water. They will be there. So there is somebody on the other side, because this is very definitely human, who is working to make sure that everything is running as it needs to. Everybody has the resources that they need to, and there is nothing that's going to stop them. There's nothing that's going to stop them. They're going, and they'll be there, and that's just all there is to it. And the sense that I have is that we won't accept anything else. It feels like you've got some really strong characters on the other side, because mediumship isn't my forte. It's not what I usually do, and I really don't do it on the live show. But there is somebody who is very insistent, who is showing me that they're going to be there. They're going to be there. And that's the only answer. It's the only acceptable answer. It's the only way that it can be. Let's see what message is coming up. The card that we have here is the Clairsentience card. This is Archangel Raguel. Notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. So this is coming up from a couple perspectives. First of all, clairsentience is one of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. And this is encouragement to make sure that you're paying attention to those feelings, to those gut feelings, because they are answers to things that you've been asking about. But I'm also seeing it as a manifestation tool as well. And so, pardon me, whatever it is that is prompting the question about whether or not they will be able to go, take that thing and see and feel as that no longer becomes an obstacle. Maybe it even becomes a support that allows for things to happen, that allows for safe travel, that allows for all of the material needs to be provided for to facilitate that. So making sure that vehicle is operational, or funds are received, or schedules align so that things can happen. Whatever it is that is prompting the question whether or not they'll make it, see and feel as that falls off, and see and feel what it feels like for that to be in place for a smooth trip and a smooth visit and smooth journey. So using that physical sensation, that feeling, what does it feel like in your body to know that everybody's arriving safely, to know that we have the vehicle that we need, that we have the financial resources that we need, that everybody has the time off, that everybody has a good time? What does it feel like in your body for all of those things to be true? And see and feel as that shifts the energy around the visit. Because, as I said, there's a lot that's happening on the other side that's helping to make sure that that visit happens. So, trust. And Brenda, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for popping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and support your way. Tanya, hello. It's good to see you. So Tanya says, okay, Mr. W apologized, to me about being a jerk in person at the festival that I was working, stammered through this whole thing. He seems sincere. He's been texting, calling me since. He went to my work. WTF is this with all these men apologizing? Feels like A is going to also. So lots of apologies. My old friend Tom keeps apologizing too. Some crazy goddess energy happening over here. Okay, I'm just checking in to see. I think that was all that you were asking. So what the heck is going on? What is going on? So part of it feels like it has to do with the shift that you have in yourself and in how you're interacting and engaging. One of the things that seems to be thematic in what's happening here is we've got old partners and connections and relationships that are kind of coming up to the forefront. We have some existing relationships and connections that are kind of coming up to the forefront. And usually that means that there are some fairly significant shifts that are happening. So when we start to see old partners coming out of the woodwork, kind of checking in, kind of apologizing, it is often because our energy and vibration is rising up because we're preparing and getting ready for a new relationship or a new dynamic or a significant change in an existing relationship to happen. So that's part of why they're coming out of the woodwork, because your energy has maybe been kind of slower down here and now it's rising up. It's like, ooh, I need to connect with Tanya because she's looking so great, or she's shining so bright. And that's part of what it is. So when we see people, as I said, coming out of the woodwork like that, it's usually because we are shifting, we're elevating, and there are new relationships, new connections that are coming. So unless you're feeling drawn to commit to one of the people in your life right now, I'm wanting to kind of keep things open a little bit, because usually universe is saying, hey, we're preparing you for something else, for something new. That could be something that you're doing on a solo level. This could be something in your work, your career. It could be along those lines. It could also be new partnership, or it could be new energy within an existing relationship and an existing connection. So we're kind of keeping things open there. Let's do a check-in and see what's coming up for you. What does Tanya need to know about what's happening with the men in her life right now? We have the courage card. This is Archangel Ariel, and her message is be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. I love Archangel Ariel and I love working with her, and you can even see in the background of her picture here, we have this gorgeous lion. Archangel Ariel is often either depicted with a lion, or even like with half of her head as a lion. And one of the reasons that I love Archangel Ariel, angels don't have ego. But if they did, Archangel Ariel would be exactly how to help you. I know exactly what to do. You're not going to take any slack. You're not going to accept less than what you deserve from this guy. And she's the one that you would go to because she has like all the answers. She can fix anything. She is so brave, and she stands her ground, and she helps you stand your ground. She helps you to see your worth as well. So her message that's coming up here around courage and standing up for your beliefs is basically an encouragement to stand tall in you and who you are, and knowing that your light, your energy is attracting the people, the circumstances, the situations that you're ready for. And yeah, the people that have fallen out of your lives are going to realize what are missing out on, because you've leveled up, you've vibed up, you're in that, really kind of space and kind of zone. So that's where that energy is really popping in. So stand your ground and call on Archangel Ariel and ask her for help and support. Tanya, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. So Pamela, hi Pamela, thanks for joining us. Pamela's asking if we see her moving soon. You know what? This is the same song that came up for Nikki. I'm hearing moving on up and I'm moving on out. Time to break free. Nothing can stop me. I will not quit my day job. But that is the song that I have popping up for you. I feel like the question you're asking about is a physical move. Will I physically be moving? And that may be part of it. But I also feel you breaking out, breaking free from something as well. Like, we're not being tied down, we're not being held down, we're not being restricted. And so if a physical move helps with that, then yeah, it feels like that's part of it. But this is feeling like this is happening more on an energetic level. Like, I feel like you're regaining and you're claiming yourself. We're letting go of something that isn't allowing you to be you. I think that's the best way to put it. So yeah, we've got a move that's coming up. We're moving, we're shaking, we're inviting in new experiences, new opportunities that could have to do with a physical move, but that almost feels like that's secondary to the energy that you're currently in right now. I feel like we're pulling two cards for you, Pamela. So the first card is the mermaids and dolphins. I'm just going to ask, what do you need to know about moving? And we're going to the Archangel Oracle card deck, and we're going to ask the same thing. What does Pamela need to know about moving? So the card that we have here is so interesting. I shuffle all of the cards in between and during. So these have been well shuffled, but we're still getting the Archangel Metatron card and chakra clearing. Call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. I feel like this is a confirmation of the message that we had, that energetically things are moving, they're shaking, they're shifting. We're clearing things out. We're preparing for something new. For a new experience. We just had two more cards fall out that we're going to include with that. We have Angel Therapy, which is Archangel Raphael. Give your cares and worries to us, angels, and allow us to take your burdens. So when this card comes up, it's saying that you're not alone, that there is help and support, and that there are things that are shifting. Like, we've got healing that's happening. And Archangel Haniel comes up with the passion card that fell out as well. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and your career. It could be love life and career, but it could be just anything. Allow yourself to, what were the words? Trust and follow your renewed passion in life. And then the card that we have, interesting. The card that we had coming up with the mermaids and dolphins is the mother healing card. And I have to tell you, I was not expecting this card. As your feelings toward your mother heal, your desires manifest more rapidly and accurately. So when this card comes up, it usually has to do with it can specifically have to do with relationship that we have with our mother, and as women, relationship that we may have with children, and with giving and receiving love. And I feel like that's part of what's coming up here is healing that's happening for you around giving and receiving love. So there are a lot of shifts that are happening, and as I said, like, move may be part of what's happening, but it feels like it's secondary to it's secondary to the other things that are happening that are feeling more significant right now. Pamela, I hope that you'll pop back and let us know how it goes, and how the moving and shaking is going, and about physical move that may be coming up for you as well. I'm really grateful that you joined us this evening. Thanks for hopping on. Sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. We have Leslie here. Hi, Leslie. Thanks for joining us. What can I expect regarding my mother's health in the next few months? Is she likely to pass soon or decline over an extended period? What does she need in her journey? Okay. Carolyn, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt the reading with Leslie. I just noticed that Carolyn is the next person down and has not asked a specific question. Carolyn, if you want to ask a specific question, I would love to connect with you this evening. Okay, Leslie, what do we have coming up around your mother's health? I'm not seeing anything, and I don't see anything around specific timelines when people pass. Um, I do feel this kind of in and out, and the way that it's kind of representing itself is I almost feel like I'm a little bit like wobbly and woozy, that I'm having kind of a hard time being present where I am. So I'm not feeling an abrupt I'm here and then I'm gone. The sense that I have is that your mom still has some time in her journey, but there's a general fading that feels like it's coming up. Like I don't feel like I'm completely connected in this world, and possibly not completely connected in the next. When I ask about what does she need in her journey? I'm really being drawn to touch. I'm wanting to reach out to hold her hands, for her to hold my hands. I'm wanting touch around my shoulders and my hair. And this feels like this almost feels like this is a grounding as well as being a soothing. And even if this is just popping up as a message, even if um, earlier in her life she wasn't somebody who was very tactile, it feels like it's something that brings her comfort now. So I'm really wanting to hold her hands, as I said, stroke her arm, stroke her hair. There's also something about kind of like the back of her shoulders and the back of her neck as well that are coming up. I'm wanting to have something soft that I can hold and stroke. Everything that's coming up for her is feeling really tactile. And I go back to those initial messages where I was having a hard time kind of finding my sense of balance. It feels like she's finding support in touch. So, in addition to that, support when she's moving through her home or through her space, this might be in making sure she has handholds that she can walk to from place to place. Because again, this kind of wooziness that I'm feeling may also be manifesting on a physical level. Excuse me. And music is feeling really important as well. I'm wanting to have music on that would have been from what I'm hearing is a happier time. And I'm hearing older music is really coming up to the forefront for me as well. So things that she might have been exposed to or listened to when she was young. Possibly before kids, possibly if she had children at a young age, during those early years rather. But music is feeling like it's important, and possibly even music that she would have heard at home when she was young, or that she would have been exposed to at around that time when she was quite young, because that's feeling like that's significant for her as well. She's showing me food. Which is interesting because it feels like her appetite has been shifting and changing. I'm wanting to offer her Jello. Um, Now, something that's popping up with that, I also want to make sure that she's drinking enough. And I'm wondering if that's part of where the Jello's coming in. I don't know this for certain, but I don't is Jello, especially if it's a little more liquidy, possibly a way that they encourage seniors to drink. I think that's where the hydration message is popping in for her as well. Like I'm really wanting to make sure that she has the nutrients and the resources that her body needs to support her. So fluids, Jello, and other foods that she enjoys, but she's showing me on a much smaller level than she's probably eaten in the past. Um, yeah. And when you can, where you can, speak gently to her, because it feels like there's actually a lot that she's processing. And yeah, speak gently where you can. Leslie, let's just ask what you and your family need to know about your mom and what's happening in your mom's world right now. This is interesting. We have the Passion card again. This is Archangel Haniel. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. And where this comes in from your mom, I'm really wanting to focus on the things that she enjoys and the things that she did enjoy. So I'm wanting to focus on happy times and happy memories. Again, like the touch and the tactile is feeling like that helps promote a sense of peace and feeling comfortable, feeling loved. If the food is coming up as like a physical experience, in addition to making sure that she has what she needs, but the music feels like that's really significant as well. And it just kind of pops in. I wonder if there was an instrument that she played. And I'm reminded of a beautiful woman who I think was in her 90s at the time that this video was recorded and shared. And she'd been a prima ballerina. And I believe that she had Alzheimer's and so wasn't connecting in the physical world as much anymore. But they played the music to a song that she had danced to. And she was able, even though it was 80 years later, was able to dance along because it was such an ingrained passion for her. So anyway, music is popping up as being significant, and particularly if there was music that she herself played as well, that is significant right now as well. Leslie, I'm so grateful you joined us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you, to your family, and to your mom as well. Let me see. Hi, Christine. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. And Drew, you are so welcome. I love you too. Hello, Nancy. It's so good to see you. Margaret, you're welcome. It was such a pleasure connecting with you this evening. I'm going to call this Alib. And I know that you know who you are. Is the timing right for me to make a major work change, potentially retiring, and in December? Let's take a look. Yes, 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 yes. In fact, it feels like there's no question about it. I get this resounding yes. And it wasn't just one, it was many. It was yes, 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 yes. It was a whole chorus of yeses. Yeses. Let me just see. Part of the timing feels like there's also a natural conclusion. There's a sense that if you don't do it at around that time, I feel like there's some sort of project or something that you become involved with. And it's almost like that means that you need to stay an extra 6 months or a year or 18 months. It's almost like it's now or it's some time from now. It can't be, maybe it's January or maybe it's March. It feels like there's something from a timing perspective. So I'm feeling, yes, that retirement is coming up. If there is a project that's coming up that it has a 3-month or a 6-month like timeline with it, then I'm seeing you deciding based on whether or not that would be something that you want to participate in, because they're showing me that might have a positive impact on benefits or some sort of retirement package that you would get. Then I'm seeing, potentially that being a positive choice for you. But yeah, it feels like we're coming into a time and a space where retirement makes a lot of sense, where you're able to get out, to move on. And I have the sense of moving on coming up as well. So I see retirement in a form and a fashion, but there are projects that you're going to become involved with that are of your own choosing and of your own desire. So this isn't it. This is maybe it for right now. What is it that Churchill said? This is not the end. This is not even the beginning of the end, but perhaps this is the end of the beginning. And that's kind of what I have. So I went from a resounding yes to there could be a project that's like 3 to 6 months long that you choose, but that basically yes. And that after a little while, there are probably more projects that are coming up. So it's not completely retirement, but The overall message is yes. Let's see, where are we going? We're going to go to the archangels, and we're just going to ask, what does Aleb need to know about retirement in December and beyond? That's how I'm going to put it. So the card that we have here is the You Are Safe card. And this is really interesting. This is Archangel Michael's card. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. Archangel Michael is really interesting because he is the angel who helps and supports us with our life path. He also helps and supports military, police officers, builders, people who are in construction, and interestingly, technology as well, just to kind of throw that one out there. It's interesting to me that he comes up not as much with the safe message, though part of what I take from that is that it is safe for you on a variety of different levels to make a change, to retire at this point. But also, Archangel Michael, as I said, helps and supports us with our life path. And so, if you've been feeling the pull, the call, the urge to look at retirement, that's probably because Michael's been saying, yep, because you're getting ready for the next thing, because you're not done. It's just maybe we're taking a pause and maybe we're going to move into something else that's interesting. So, yes, the answer is yes. And Caleb, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, and hope you pop back and let us know how it goes. Pat, oh, Pat, if you want to ask a specific question, my friend, I would so love to connect with you. But I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Mary Ellen, hello. It's good to connect with you. Mary Ellen saying, I am trying to start following my mom's advice she gave me just before she passed 20 plus years ago. My apologies. To do things such as live more, travel, enjoy life, and the things along that line. I think it feels, pardon me, I think it finally started to sink in after struggling for so long. Mary Ellen, I want to celebrate that with you. That is amazing. So I'm going to kind of suss out and take out a question there for you. What do you need to know? That's what we're going to do. What do you need to know about living more and traveling and enjoying life? And part of what I'm seeing is it feels like you're able to start moving out of your head. And I'm hearing the woulda, coulda, shouldas and moving into your heart more is what it feels like. I feel like we're moving out of the need to do, to be, to show up in certain ways. And it feels like you're moving into that heart-centered place. And I'm really excited and grateful for that for you. And and I said that we don't do mediumship on this show, and we really don't, but I do have an energy that's coming in that is really excited about that for you, and somebody is ready to go on adventures with you. So the sense that I have is that your mom has been waiting for you to allow yourself to live. And she's living vicariously through you and with you. There's a lot of excitement that's coming up. I feel like this is probably not the right reference, mostly because I haven't actually seen this movie, and I don't think that it ends well. But but Thelma and Louise are popping in, and I need to preface this by saying that I don't see a terrible end coming if you go and live your life. And there may have been some criminality that was involved in the movie. I don't see you doing that either. It's more the energy of fun and excitement and woo that's coming up. And that's what I'm seeing coming up for you. And as I said, I feel that you're not alone in that adventure. So know that she's coming along with you to enjoy the ride, literally and figuratively, and the experiences that you're now allowing yourself to have. Mary Ellen, I'm so excited for you. Let's see what messages are popping up. Brilliant idea. This is Archangel Uriel, and his message is, yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. I don't think that I could have chosen a better card for you that basically says, yes, let's do it. Let's go. Let's have a really great time. The other thing that pops up with the brilliant idea, one of the four primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information is through something called claircognizance, which, excuse me, means clear knowing. And pardon me, excuse me just a moment. And with claircognizance, it means clear knowing, and it's thoughts and ideas popping into your head. And so, with the message that's come up with the brilliant idea, that's saying that you're likely also receiving lots of brilliant ideas as well, claircognizant ideas that are helping to lead you towards the path that you're meant to take. And as I said, mediumship isn't my forte, but the fact that I feel like we've got your mom popping in who's helping and supporting with that, I'm going to say that probably she's part of the team that's helping to give you the messages and information and guiding you to the next adventures that you're going to go through. So pay attention to those thoughts and ideas that pop into your head because they are divinely guided. Mary Ellen, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, support, and adventure your way. My friends, we have come to the end of our time together. I'm so sorry that we didn't get to connect with more people this evening, but I'm so incredibly grateful that you chose to join me. My intention is that we'll be back again next week and the following week for Connection with Intention. I'm just going to see if I can pop this thing up here. There we go. So if you would like to receive a notification the day of or the day before we go live the next time, hop over here and join the email newsletter. That's what it is. My brain just blanked for a minute. That's how I also know that it's time for me to be done. And basically what I do is I'll send out an email to you the day before or the day of that I'm going live. It will include the links on email and Facebook, pardon me, YouTube and Facebook, where you can come and join me. And I also include the image that we're going to use for the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading. So you have all of the information that you need to hop on and to join us. And so you can get your question in time for me to connect with you, to read for you. So please hop over and do that. And let me see if I can put two up at the same time. Can I? Oh, no, it takes it down. So I'll keep this one up. And then also, if you would like to connect for your own reading, please hop over to bookingwitherin.com. That's bookingwitherin.com. I'd love to connect with you for a personal reading. I have time still available this coming week, I think on Thursday and Friday. And then I'll be off for a week because I am getting back into doing some soap making and making some really fun and interesting products. We are making a Make-A-Wish spray. So it's like the chakra clearing spray that I've been making for almost 20 years. It'll have crystals in it. I charged the water in the energy of the new moon that we had last night, and it was bringing in all of the energy from the last shooting stars from the parasites. Anyway, I'll be explaining more about it. I'm super excited that that one's coming to life. There will be ritual shower steamers that are coming up. There are a lot of new things that are coming. So I will be taking next week off because I am going to be in full concoction and creation mode. So the next couple of days we've got appointments, and then we should have appointments the following week as well. So if you're wanting to connect for your own reading one-on-one, head over to bookingwitherin.com. I'm so excited to connect with you. And I am so incredibly grateful that you joined me here this evening. It was such a pleasure. And thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I am sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, and look forward to connecting with you next time. Okay, now I have this outro thing that I am going to put up if I can figure out where it is. Oh, here it is. We'll see you soon, my friends. And also, I'll pop the link for the email in the comments after we go off the show. So it'll be there shortly.